Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're embarking on what I love to call the ECBA hero's journey. You know, if you've ever looked into the entry certificate in business analysis, picked up that massive official manual, and just felt instantly intimidated, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to explore how you can completely transform from feeling overwhelmed to becoming a confident, certified professional. And we'll do this by breaking down the highly structured preparation program from Institute I-4.
But first, I want to kick things off with a success story, and it's driven by a pretty simple metric, a 4.7-star average customer review score. Now, this isn't just some random number. It actually represents countless entry-level candidates who started their journey exactly where you might be right now. You know, uncertain, maybe a little intimidated by the whole process, and honestly without any formal experience. Yet by following a proven system, they crossed the finish line, conquered the exam, and actually launched their careers in business analysis.
So, let's dive into that roadmap. There's a proven three-step path from zero experience to launching a career. First up, you've got to sort out your eligibility and application. Second, navigating the somewhat treacherous waters of exam preparation. And finally, step 3, celebrating your certification and unlocking that career growth. Now, we are going to focus heavily on that middle step today, mostly because, well, that's where most people tend to get stuck.
Here's our structured plan for this explainer. We'll cover the BABOK challenge, the visual method, foundational curriculum, the practice system, the ultimate guarantees, and finally, starting your BA career.
All right, let's get into it. Section 1, the BABOK challenge, and overcoming the entry-level hurdle.
It is totally normal to ask this question. Is the ECBA exam actually difficult? For most candidates, the challenge really isn't a lack of experience. In fact, the ECBA certification requires absolutely zero prior business analysis work experience. The real hurdle? It's simply understanding the incredibly complex language, the rigid structure, and the really dense concepts of the BABOK guide, which is the business analysis body of knowledge. Honestly, opening it up can feel like trying to read a foreign language.
And there is a stark contrast in how you can approach this whole thing. If you try decoding the BABOK alone, you're probably going to get quickly overwhelmed by the terminology. You get lost in these giant knowledge areas and end up resorting to unguided, blind memorization that just doesn't stick. But with the Institute I-4 way, you get clear, structured, and achievable guidance right from the ground up. It's basically the difference between wandering through a dark maze all by yourself versus having an expert just hand you a flashlight and a map.
Which brings us to Section 2, the visual method. It's all about clarity over memorization. So, how do we actually conquer this material without burning out? Well, Institute I-4 doesn't just read the BABOK manual at you. Instead, they use a proprietary visual BABOK learning method. And what's super interesting here is that the instructors leading this program are the actual authors of the BABOK Visual Study Guide. So they simplify these really complex concepts using visual models, vivid examples, and handy memory aids. They're actively building your understanding and replacing that blind memorization with actual lasting comprehension.
Moving on to Section 3, foundational curriculum. Let's look at exactly what you need to know.
Let's break down exactly what this beginner-friendly program covers. Because to even apply for the ECBA, you're going to need 21 professional development hours, which, by the way, this course provides in full. But more importantly, it covers 6 core areas, building your foundation completely from the ground up. You'll go from understanding the core role of a business analyst straight into the nitty-gritty of planning and monitoring, elicitation and collaboration, requirements analysis, and BA techniques and evaluation. These are the actual skills you'll use on the job every single day. And the beauty here is that Institute I-4 avoids all that unnecessary complexity. They keep you entirely focused on exactly what the exam tests. No fluff, no distractions.
All right, Section 4, the practice system. This is all about building your exam confidence. Now, knowledge is great, but to really build that confidence, you need a massive volume of practice. Institute I-4 arms you with more than 1,000 ECBA model questions, literally 1,000. And these aren't just random questions. They are specifically designed to reinforce the terminology you just learned visually and to aggressively test your readiness way before you ever sit for the real thing.
But it isn't just a giant bank of questions. You literally have an entire arsenal of learning tools at your disposal. Because, hey, everyone learns differently, right? Whether you learn best by flipping through digital flashcards, listening to audiobook-style reviews during your morning commute, running timed sessions on the ECBA exam simulator, or bringing your roadblocks directly to the live expert support question clinics, you are completely covered. They even hand you a step-by-step preparation plan so you never have to guess what you should be studying on any given day.
Next up is Section 5, the ultimate guarantees.
Let's talk about your risk-free safety net. Now we reach the absolute best part of this journey. Here is a massive claim from Institute I-4. Pass on your first try or they pay your exam retake fees. That is their ECBA success guarantee. If you put in the work and you somehow don't pass on your first try, they literally cover your retake fees. And believe it or not, it gets better. If you don't pass by attempt number 3, they will give you a full tuition refund. They are quite literally investing their own money into your success.
And alongside that success guarantee, this builds into a complete bulletproof safety net. You're protected financially with a money-back guarantee. They have a session-run guarantee, meaning you won't deal with any last-minute cancellations disrupting your study plans. They even offer a lowest price guarantee. If you find a cheaper equivalent offer, they'll beat it by 5%. Plus, you get 2 free retakes of the course itself, just in case you want to sit through the live material one more time. Oh, and if your plans change before the course even starts, you can cancel for a full refund with 0 fees. It is completely 100% risk-free.
Finally, Section 6, Start Your BA Career. Let's look at their flexible training for any schedule. With the risk completely eliminated, the only thing left is figuring out when to start. Institute I-4's live online sessions are designed to seamlessly integrate into your life. The formatting perfectly accommodates you, whether you're working full-time, studying, or managing a super busy household. You can choose weekend boot camps, weekday morning blocks, afternoon flexibility, or evening sessions for after work or school. There is quite literally a schedule for everyone. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a final thought. Why on earth would you try to study alone, memorize blindly, and risk failure when a completely guaranteed, expert-led path is waiting for you? It is time to empower your career. You can enroll directly or book a free advisory call with Institute I-4 today to talk through your specific goals. I'll leave you with this. If your future career is on the line, aren't you ready to stop struggling with the BABOK guide and start writing your very own success story?